Hello, everybody. Uh, this is a talk about logic circuit simulator through which you can do some of the circuit designs and other things. Okay. Today we are going to specifically talk about how to design a 256-bit computers. Okay. A 256-bit computers has got complete set of features. Okay. First thing, it has got about instruction set which you can have any number of instruction set, in fact infinite number of instruction set. Well, that is like addition, subtraction, multiplication, gate arrays, kind of addition. Then you can have matrix multiplication, matrix division, matrix manipulation and other things, which you can do it on a single click or in a single kind of clock and things like that. Okay, so that is why we use 256-bit computers. Usually these 256-bit computers are used when it is real time critical, and those kind of data manipulation and other things are quite difficult with 8-bit computers and 16-bit computers and other things. So that is why we have come into design with 256-bit computers. How it is designed, how 256-bit computers are designed, it's quite difficult process. Okay, it's not a very difficult process. It's a very simple method, but the thing is, you have to know what is a protocol. Like an 8085 protocol has got a set of instruction set, and these instruction sets are numbered. Okay, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those instructions, like for addition, you number it as 1, and for multiplication, you define the number as 2 and things like that. So for operations, you define a set of numbers. Then for elements like D flip flop, T flip flop and other things, for that you define a set of numbers. Okay, numbering system. Then for connections, you define a number of numbering system. A number of nodes also, you define a number of set of node definitions, and connection definitions also use define a set of numbers. Okay, like connection 213, connection 214, connection 215 and things like that. Okay, so you can define all the things as a set of elements plus a set of operations plus a set of instructions plus a set of clocking and other things. Okay, so even for clocking you can use numbering systems, and then you can use it. Once how to connect all the things, you give it a for a D flip flop. If you want to connect two things, if you say that D123 link D157. Okay, so two data elements are linked. Okay, so the intermediate thing is just a link or an AND logic or an OR logic or anything you can give. Okay, if you connect multiple things to a particular point, you give an OR logic. Okay, then if you want to have either one of the things working at certain times, then you can have an AND logic and things like that, and then you can connect all the elements, connect all the different types of flip flops, connect all the different kinds of transistors and other things, and then finally you define the protocol or what are the connection protocols. Okay, so what are the connect elements that go on, so you give it a number system, and then after that you give all the data elements, which is another thing, like different kinds of elements like an assembly. Okay, so if you are assembling a set of boxes, then you say that you define boxes number, box number 1, box number 2, box number 3, box number 4. Okay, then you want to put something inside, then you define it as element number 1, element number 2, element like some kind of set kind of thing, some kind of set theory kind of thing, and then you assemble the thing, and then you put it together, and then you finally form the what is called an 8085 architecture or 8085 processor. So for an 8-bit or a 16-bit, it is very simple, and you can easily do the calculation. For higher things, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but it follows the same kind of pattern. So you have to understand 8085, how the timings work, how the control systems work, and how the bits are arranged and things like that. So once you are done with that, then it will be very easy for you to understand other things. Okay, now I wanted to show you some of the things which I have created. Okay, the first thing is for a 256-bit computer. Okay, for a 256, this is the two kinds of batch. Okay, this is for For a 256-bit computer, you go for 64 or plus 64. Okay, what is the 64 array for a 250 computer? There is another 256 or 56 bit computer. Both things are linked together to form what is a 256-bit computer. Okay, so here there are two things which are 256-bit computers. These things are linked together. Okay, so to form what is called a 256-bit computer. So one has 128 and another one has got 128 bits. Okay, these two bits computers are linked together to form what is called a 256-bit computer. Okay, what is inside? If you want to see, you can see what are the different kinds of elements that is there inside. So if you want to see what are the different kinds of elements inside, then you can go and see all the things. Okay, but I don't have anything here. It's not showing up or anything like that. Okay, let's see where it is there. Okay, now it's not showing up properly. Oh, there. Okay, now if you go look inside, there are different kinds of elements: 8-bit elements, 16-bit elements, 20 or 16-bit elements, and things like that. So this is another set of computers which are inside another set of block of computers. So there are about 8 computers here. They are linked together, and these 8 computers are put together to form what is a 256-bit, 128-bit computer, and this 128-bit computer is linked together to form what is called a 256. 128-bit computer, two 128-bit computers are linked together to form what is called a 256-bit computer. Okay, now we go back and see some of the things, how the registers are multiplexed, instruction set is decoded, and bus latch and things like that. Okay, this is a simple kind of bus latch. Okay, if you want to do any kind of latching of bus services, then you just do latching like this. Okay, this is called a full latch, which has got an AND circuitry and it has got a circuit element. So this is the input circuit element, this is the output circuit elements, 8-bit. If you want to do a latch of a particular thing, then all the 8 bits are latched, and if you want to control individual latch, then you can have individual connections and individual latch kind of thing. Or if you have to completely control the complete entire set of 8 bits, then you have a full latch or a half latch and things like that. So this is basically for address resolutions or chip select and things like that. Latches are usually for chip select and other things. They are used and they have the control elements, and then you can set in all the things. Okay, this is called a bus latch. Okay, now we have add circuitry. Add circuitry, you can use PAL or other things, but here I have used PAL. Okay, then we don't want that. Okay, try arrow of time. Okay, first is you have to create what is called an arrow of time. Arrow of time is like how input output goes in. Okay, that's all arrow of time. So if you got 8-bit computer, so you create an 8-bit arrow kind of thing, so which will tell you what is input, what is output, and things like that. Okay, so now we have different kinds of SIM bank. Okay, now we will go to look into what are different kinds of SIMs and other things. SIM is a kind of serial inline memory or something like that. Okay, so this is a huge bank which has got about 256 kind of thing. Okay, now we can check in other things. Okay, where are so this chip has got about 256 computing power, and has got the entire set of 256-bit computer chip. Okay, so this is the basic thing how it looks like. And inside, if you go, this is the kind of connection that is given there. Okay, it has got 2 parts. One is a 128 part and another one is 128 part, and these things are connected through what are called link elements. Okay, these things are all link elements. Okay, this is the first batch of set of connecting circuitry, the second batch of connecting second bank connecting circuitry, and that is how things are connected. Okay, so this is SIM bank, and you can just connect all the things. Okay, now we have what is that 8085 assembly. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, now if you want to go do assembly work of the 8085 processor, you put individual elements like this. Okay, these are all what the first one is clock elements. Clock elements, they are under one circle. Okay, these are resolution modules. Resolution modules are things which come under different kinds of modules. So one is a timing module which does all the timing control and other things, the timing elements and other things, and it's got a timing element module. Then it has got a resolution module, just for address resolution, data resolutions, or any kind of resolutions. If you want to do those kind of things, the resolutions. Execute cycle components. So you have an execute cycle components are there, which are where you are going to do execute, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, arithmetic, logic, unit, and other things. All these things, execution cycle components are all in there, and you have a pack immediately for that, and that is the kind of things which is inside there. Okay, resolution is basically for address resolution, then data controller kind of fetch resolution and other things. Then there are register components. Okay, all the register components are there inside one pack. Okay, all the registers are there just inside one pack, and then you can use the register components within the inside the pack and then use it. Okay, this is a fetch cycle component. What is fetch cycle? You have two things. One is called a fetch and one is called a execute. Okay, fetch is usually for data memory access. Okay, these are the two things which you have to understand very clearly. In any kind of computer, only two things you perform. One is either you are fetching or you're executing. That's all. Nothing else you are doing in a computer. Okay, there are two things only you do in a computer. One thing is fetching. Fetching is something from the memory, you read something, or you transfer from one register to another register, from one memory to another memory, or you're doing some kind of thing. So that is the fetch cycle. Okay, so that is one thing which you do in a computer. Okay, one is a fetch, and then the second one is execution. Like if you are getting all the like a product, so you want to make an idli or a dosa or something like that, you get what is called the elements. Okay, that is the requirement specifications. Or what you do, you get dal, you get rice, and you get all other kinds of things. Keep water ready and things like that. So that is the fetch cycle. Then after that, first thing you have to grind the wheat. So if you want to go do the grinding wheat, that is called an execution cycle. So that is the kind of things. Okay, you want to put water and then make it as a kind of paste. That is the instruction set. Okay, that is what is the kind of things you want to do. So it has got two things. A computer does two things only. One is a fetch, either from the memory register or transfer from this to that, those kind of things. So there is a fetch cycle, and then there is an execution cycle. Execution cycle is what is the kind of instructions that has been given to that particular thing. What is the instruction? First you have to take water, fill the water in a tank, then after that you put flour into it and mix it thoroughly. These are instructions. Okay, that is called an execute cycle. Execute cycle components are put in this kind of execute cycle components. Okay, external control modules. Okay, but when you want to do other kinds of things, when you're doing some work, it has got external control modules which are interfacing. Okay, external control like interrupt and other things. Those kind of things are called. So interrupt and interfacing is a different kinds of things. Memory type devices. What are the different kinds of things which will interrupt? Memory type devices, connection type devices, input output type devices, and interrupt control type devices. These are the four different types of things which you can interface, okay, to a computer. Okay, only four things are there. Okay, what is interrupt, input output, connection type, and memory type. Okay, these are the four things which you can interface with the other kinds of systems and other things. Okay, so this is the basics of what a computer has inside. Okay, one is a clocking and timing elements which will do all the clocking of how a work should be done. Okay, what time it has to start the work, what time it has to finish the work. So this is a clocking circuitry. Then the another one is the fetching circuitry. Depending on the clock what is given, it has got the fetch. Resolution is what should be done first and what should be done next. How like you first you have to take flour and water together, mix some flour and water together. You cannot take immediately heat the water immediately and then put flour inside. So this is called a resolution. So while doing work, you have what is called a resolution module, which will give what is the first step you have to do, what is the second step you have to do, those kind of things, where the address is, which address resolution, data resolution, then timing resolutions. All these resolutions can be done with what is called a resolution module. Okay, then after that, what is called a register component. Register components are fast elements, slow elements, those kind of of things, where actually the performance is being done, okay, where the actually the execution of things, what from where what kind of things you have to do, that kind of the register components and connections, okay. So that will give you all the register components and what different kinds of connections you have to do. And finally you have execute cycle components and fetch cycle components. Two components, fetch cycle components and execute cycle components. Once you have these two, then your whole computer is over, okay. Once you define all this numbering system for each one of these components, each one of these modules, and finally you define all the different kinds of connections as a kind of numbering system. Once you have done all the numbering system, then you have what is called a protocol. That is called a 8085 protocol, assembly protocol. Assembly protocol is how a 8085 chip works, okay. That is called an assembly protocol, okay. So this is how a 8085 microprocessor chip works and how to assemble things. So this is a basic design of how we can build higher computers. Higher bit computers are like 16-bit computers, 32-bit computers and things like that, okay. Now 8080 clock config max. So if you go and do a clock configurations, you can see what are the things inside. So clock is basically for any things you want to do, you need only 2 bits, okay. 2 bits, either 0 or 1, okay, 0 or 1. So this you can use it as a kind of robust also. Robust also has 0 and 1 only, okay. They don't immediately transfer, they don't go into immediately 18 elements and things like that. A robust structure is usually used as 0 and 1. Either the hand is up or the hand is down, okay. So that is one movement. Then after that, if you want to make intermediate movements of a robo, then you can choose number of levels of movement, okay. So if you want to move it to up hand about one unit, and you want to move the hand up to 2 units, then you can use multiple kinds of links so the basic thing is 0 and 1 only you can use, and after that intermediate things you can use, okay, depending on what kind of clock cycle, what is the power cycle and other things. So this is the basic elements of what is the timing configuration command. It has got a timer, 0-second timer, 2-second timer, and you can multiplex all these things into 2 different kinds of modes, and then you can use it as a kind of timer, okay, 8085 config timer, and you can define the complete set of instructions and other things, okay. Instruction register and decoder, okay. Let's see what is the instruction set, register and decoder, so kind of things. Instructions is a kind of set of things which come in, okay, instructions, and it is kind of set of multiplexers which are used to decode the things. So once you have a decoder, the data from the data register, it is taken, each data is taken and separated into opcode and kind of extension, or what is the size and other things, okay. It has got an opcode and size, then depending on what kind of instruction that is given, the multiplexer completely resolves all the things and then finally puts into what is the final instruction. And what is the machine code? Machine code is nothing but a set of circuitry elements. About, say, for 8-bit you give it as 001011, okay. That is a specific set of machine cycle that it has to do. Either it is move immediate, or it can be move A comma B, or it can be move A comma C. So that instruction will be machine cycle will be formed and given to the timer, okay. So this is a kind of thing which goes inside a computer, okay. So you have to have the basic idea of what a mask is. Mask is usually used for, if you don't want some other things and you want to see only certain particular things, then you use what is called a mask, okay. So once you use a mask and other things, then you can do all the things. Now I didn't do the complete circuitry and complete configuration and other things, okay. This is the gate config, okay. This is the gate config. Everything is done through matrix, okay. So you define all the things in the matrix. Elements are just like kind of matrix, okay. From the matrix you define what are the element points, okay, connection points and other things, okay, and you define what is kind of operation it has to do, those kind of operation elements. So everything will be mostly in matrix, and from the matrix you just mux all the things and then bring it back together, and finally you have the computer designed, okay. That is how we design the computers. So this has got a basic matrix type of extra statistics relay phase lock loop. Okay, I wanted to show another one. 80 wave panel. Okay. So first you have to know what is a panel. Panel is just I think what are the collect elements within the panel. Okay, it has got all the address registers, AD1 to A0 to AD. Okay, these are all the data elements which come in and go out. And this is the interrupt kind of signal. This is a kind of reset and other things, and serial input output kind of devices. Then after that voltage kind of devices. Okay, these are the basic set of devices that is being used. Okay, this is the basic 8085 kind of controls of pinout structure. Okay, this is the basic 8085 pinout structures. The voltage, then control elements, then you have bus elements, clock elements, interrupt elements, and what address elements or data elements or read write instruction elements. Okay, control elements or instruction elements, and signaling element like status, what is the process status, whether it is accessing a memory or it is giving out controls to other things, those kind of status elements. Okay, that's all it has got. And acknowledgement. Okay, sending signals and then getting acknowledgement back again. Those are the kinds of other signals that come in. Okay, this is the clock out, clock in, HLE, hold, and other things. Okay, this is the 8085 control panel. Okay, 8-way architecture, 8085. Okay, config walls, config switch. Okay, let's see what are the things inside. What are the initial configurations? It has got a whole set of things. Okay, right instruction, HDLA, VP. This is how a timer looks like inside. Okay, arrow of time. Okay, this is jamming control, data bus follow mux, there's a fix and execute cycle and things like that. So it goes on like that, and then finally timing. So you have a timer, and from that you have this is the patch panel of 8085. Okay, from the patch panel of 8085 it goes all to the timing circuitry of each one, control read write and other thing, control reset bus and other things, interrupt mask and other things. Okay, then this is the input output kind of links that is given. Okay, this is the final configuration. Okay, then for registers and other things, they are given clocks like this: B, C, D, E, H, L, M, A, F. Okay. Then you have read write. You have W, Z, S, P. Okay, IR, instruction register, and this is a transfer timings are read only kind of thing. Then stack pointer. Then program counter. Then input output data and read only, indirect addressing, address buffer. Okay, this is a kind of set of things which looks like inside a computer. This is the calculating elements. These are trap flags kind of things. What does an accumulator have? Instructor registration, decoder, mux. So these are control circuitries which go inside a computer. Once you have the complete set of control circuitries, okay, which go inside the computer, then all it is a kind of matrix kind of thing. So you arrange them in matrix and then give the connection to each one of them. Okay, register Emacs. Okay, so how mux is constructed? So it's got a set of correction points. So everything is an array kind of thing. Okay, finally that is the register kind of thing which connects all the elements. Okay, now 8085 assembly. What is 8085 assembly? Okay, that I've shown you how it is assembled. Okay, 85 structure is assembled, that is I've given already. Okay, bus slash add, arrow of time, sim. Okay, sim 128 sim bank. Okay, That also I've shown you already. 8128. So this basically 8085 things are over. Okay, architecture. If you want to do higher design architecture for 16-bit, 128-bit, I showed you how to design the architecture for 128-bit. It is just set of defining all the elements, then numbering them, then after that giving all the connection elements, numbering them, then the control elements, numbering them, then finally finding the differences. Okay, that's all. Okay, that's all for today.